Pro Football Weekly is previewing every position in fantasy football, and right now we're talking about wide receivers. And overall, we have Roddy White as number 1, Andre Johnson is 2, and Calvin Johnson is 3. Is that right? You think Roddy's the best receiver?
I think Roddy's a very safe number 1 pick. He's consistent, he has a great quarterback, a solid running back, and he's got Julio Jones now to take defenders away, so you can't go wrong with Roddy White. But Andre Johnson and Megatron, just a little bit more explosive. You might be taking a little bit more of a chance with them, but they got some big play potential. And I wouldn't be shocked if those two guys end up at the top of the list at the end of the season as opposed to Roddy White.
Also, Roddy White, while he'd be having some of the coverage go the other way, he may also have receptions going to Julio Jones. We'll see if that happens. Also, there are some breakout guys we saw from last year, the Stevie Johnsons and Brandon Lloyds of the world, that really broke out. How do you see them faring a year later?
Well, the biggest thing for them is defenses now know who Stevie Johnson is. So the question is, how do these teams get these guys the ball when they're not surprised anymore? I think the one trendy thing is few people believe Brandon Lloyd's going to have another big season. He was really a factor of that Broncos offense, which again, if it again is a big through-the-air offense, he could have another good season. Stevie Johnson, a lot of other good receivers on Buffalo, so Ryan Fitzpatrick will have no problem if Stevie's covered. Mike Williams, though, I think he'll have another big season in Tampa. I mean, that Tampa offense is fun to watch. So, again, expect Mike Williams to still be solid in 2011.
Really, the chemistry only between he and Josh Freeman just getting better. You could see big numbers from him. Now, there are other guys that didn't fare as well last year that maybe are looking for a bounce-back year. Larry Fitzgerald, terrible quarterback play in there in Arizona. Now they has Kevin Cobb. Brandon Marshall struggled a little bit in Miami. Do you see them kind of stepping back into the elite?
Well, those guys, again, it's all quarterback play. If Chad Henne is able to get Brandon Marshall the ball, especially near the goal line, something they didn't do a good job of last year, Marshall could have a good season. He had great reception numbers and receiving yards. He just didn't get the scores for it, and he wasn't consistent. Fitzgerald, again, if Kevin Cobb turns out to be the quarterback the Cardinals paid him to be and hope he's going to be, I mean, they're putting the franchise in his hands, Fitzgerald got to be happy about that. I think those two could have better seasons, but again, it all depends on the quarterback.
Also keep an eye on Sidney Rice. He was out all of last year, was so good 2 years ago with Brett Favre, but now with a sketchy quarterback situation in Seattle. That is a look at the wide receivers in fantasy football. Check out all the positions at ProFootballWeekly.com.